Hey guys, welcome back to yet another YouTube video where today I'm going to be looking at the best performers of 2021 so far in the ECA League. So this was probably the hardest video I've had to make so far, just because of the countless players this year that have just been performing above and beyond. It was so hard to try and come up with a top 10 list, but I've tried my best, and hopefully everyone is kind of, happy with the list that I've gathered. So just for the stats, just to clear things up, using stats from the season 36 and season 37 to combine that and average the ADR out. ADR meaning average damage per round, basically, just meaning that that player is doing this average amount of damage every single round that he plays. And because I'm using season 37 stats, that obviously means that unfortunately no one from 80k is going to be included in this. The main reason being kind of that 80k now have their last tournament coming up in South Africa, obviously being the Predator Winter Slam, and right after that it's basically done for. They're going overseas, they're going to be competing overseas. So my main kind of objective with this video is to kind of give players, viewers, whatever, a easier way to kind of see who we should be looking at for the future, minus 80k obviously. So I hope you enjoy the video, guys, and without further ado, I'm going to be jumping right into it. So at number 10 we've got Lately. And the big five player has been coming in hot so far these past few seasons of ECA. And I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. He's played 27 matches so far between his campaign with Sinister 5 and also now Big 5. And he's the third highest fragger right now in over the past two ECA seasons with 435 frags, which is an absolutely mental statistic. Absolutely one of the reasons why he is included in this top 10 list. And with an ADR of 81 as well, not too shabby. He definitely has what it takes to be that turning factor in around for a team, and that is why he's been included in this top 10 list. And I mean, he's really been, as of late, finding that peak performance level in terms of impact in every single round. He's been topping the scoreboard now and again, but I mean, he's just an absolute star of a player. And at the time of recording this video, the Predator Winter Slam qualifiers have just kind of been completed the first weekend, obviously, and he had an absolute smashing performance, absolutely great performance that he had. So that kind of just is a testament as to why he should be included in a list like this, and I'm just excited to see what he will be doing for obviously the continuation of the rest of the year. So now, jumping into number 9, it's going to be Divo. So, the player reigning from Dynamic has been on quite the momentum train, and he's been putting up the performances pretty much match in and match out. He's played 24 matches so far for Dynamic, and he's amassed a total of 459 frags. He is actually the second highest fragger over the past 2 seasons of ECA and intermediate, and I mean, he's 121 kills in the positive as well, which is just absolutely insane. He's got an 83 ADR, which is also like pretty insane, not gonna lie. And he's just over the past few seasons shown why he can be regarded as one of the best players in South Africa right now. And over the past 5 league matches, he's been averaging 22 kills every single map, which is an absolutely insane statistic to have. And I mean, I think his ADR was averaging at around 86, 87 for the past 5 matches. So definitely his ADR is now, on the up. So he could have been even higher if I did this video a bit later, but I did it now. So he's only coming in at number 9 for now. And now, coming in at number 8, it's gonna be Lich Lord, obviously the IGL of Ikasi, and he's been absolutely dominating the server for the past few months with Ikasi. He's played 24 matches in total over the past few seasons of ECA. And his stats are pretty impressive. I mean, he's coming up right behind Lately in terms of frags, so that's really impressive, especially for an IGL. I mean, someone who has to put his own game ahead of him, kind of last in the priority list. He's got to put his teammates' performances ahead of him and then consider factors like, what's happening around the map. He's going to be looking at his mini-map a lot of the time, so he's not even focusing on his own gameplay most of the times. And that is just absolutely insane that even though, he's putting his performance at the very bottom of his list, he is still fragging insanely well. And if I maybe make a future video about top 5 IGLs in South Africa, then definitely including him in that, just because of his pure fragging power that he brings to the server. Absolutely mental. And kind of excited to see what he will be doing in the future. And I mean, again, I've mentioned that I've just casted the Predator Winter Slam qualifiers where Ikasi also qualified today, and absolutely insane performance. I actually saw him picking up even the AWP now, so I don't know if that's going to be a permanent addition to Litchfield, but he's pretty quick on the AWP, man, so his ADL will definitely be going up if he keeps, rocking that big green. But now, getting into number 7, we're going to be talking about someone who is pretty handy with the big green, and that is obviously Frozen. He is the absolute star AWPer for Sinister 5, and without a doubt, now one of the best young players in South Africa. I mean, he's only played 17 matches so far over the past 2 seasons, just due to his transfer from VCMS obviously to Sinister 5, which has kind of, limited the amount of matches that he's been able to play in the intermediate league so far. But still, he's got an average ADR over the past 2 seasons of 84. But if you're just looking at this season so far, he's got an average ADR of 87, which is another mental statistic actually. And he's really showing his presence in the server. I mean, just his ability to, run around the map and get a pick here, get a pick there, and just, play off of his teammates really well, and his movements and everything is just absolutely, at the very top level. So I think, give him time, give him a bit more time. He's only 18 years old, so give him about a year, maybe 2 years, and then he's going to be an even better player than he is right now. Because, I mean, with Sinister 5, he's gaining so much experience as well. So definitely, one to watch out for the future. And this is mainly why I've included him in the list, because his age is, pretty impressive that he's playing so well at this age. And, just his AWPing ability can't go unnoticed. And with that impressive AWPing ability also comes the stats. And, that's kind of why he's been included in the list. And he definitely, without a doubt, deserves his spot at number 7. Now, coming in at number 6, it's going to be Doru, who is no stranger to these top 10 lists. And yet again, he's been performing above and beyond this year for Dynamic. His move from ATK to Dynamic was questioned by many. I mean, I think it came as pretty much a surprise for most people, like when that happened, especially for me. I didn't see it coming. I was pretty much blindsided, as I think about 60 to 70% of the community was like, why did this happen? He was performing so well in ATK, pretty weird. But I think now he's really established himself, with Dynamic. He's pretty much at home now with Dynamic. He's looking very comfortable, and with only 18 matches played, he's pretty much in the same boat as Frozen, with the transfers and everything. And he's got an average ADR of 85, and this isn't a true representation of how strong he actually has been, because just this season he's averaging an ADR of 94. I'm just gonna let that sink in. 94 ADR is an absolutely mental statistic. I mean, out of all the teams playing, I think there's 18 teams in intermediate, so 18 times 5, I think it's 90. Quick maths. So out of 90 players in intermediate, he's one of 4 to have a 90 plus ADR, which is just a mind-blowing statistic. And he's the only player from his team also to do so. So absolutely insane stuff. And I truly believe that he's starting to rediscover his form of old with ATK and bring that into Dynamic. And Dynamic are definitely on the up right now with Doru performing as he is. So now, getting into number 5, it's going to be PND. And I know he's been criticized for his performances. I think a member of the podcast, Jordan aka Sneaky, he mentioned that he would be drinking something of the lines of drinking a bottle of hot sauce or something, Tabasco sauce, something, if PND were ever to go positive in an official. And well, unlucky Jordan, you're going to be drinking a lot of hot sauce, buddy, because the RGL of WRG has really been a shining bright in that roster, and he's outperforming players like Socks, Fours, Awesome, like absolutely mental. He's played 26 matches so far over the past 2 seasons, and he's averaging an ADR of 86, which is, you know, mental. 86 ADR over 26 matches. You know, it shows how consistent he actually is, and he's been performing really well, and he's probably one of the hardest fragging IGLs out there right now. You know, maybe just a bit behind Lichlord in terms of kills, but still ahead of him in terms of ADR. And I mean, the only player really ahead of him inside of WRG is Destroyed, and he's actually going to be the next player that I will be discussing. He's coming in at number 4. So Destroyed, the hard fragger for WRG, he's been taking names so far the entire season, especially this season and the last season. He's a very consistent player as well, and he's really shown, you know, how consistent he is, because in season 36 he had an ADR of 86, and this season he has an ADR of 87. So I mean, so you can really see you know, how consistent he is in terms of his performances for his team. And just to put that, you know, 87 ADR into perspective, if you really think about it, over the 25 matches that he's played, he's had multiple performances where he goes 100 ADR plus for a map, and then he can obviously also have performances where he goes, you know, maybe only 70 ADR. But the thing is, over these 25 matches played, he's still balanced it out to come to an 87 ADR. So absolutely mental. The guy's going above and beyond for WRG, and that, for me, I think that is why they're sitting sweet in that number 4 spot at the time of recording this video, obviously in the current ECA League table. Absolute insane play. His form is, you know, really good, and I think he's really a criminally underrated player, because, you know, obviously him being Mango's brother, he's kind of, you know, not talked about as much, because it's all just Mango's playing for 80k, you know, all of this hype around Mango, but not really much talk of Destroyed. And I think you really do need to talk about him a bit more, because this man is just popping off so far in the ECA this season, and, you know, I'm really excited to see how he will be doing coming up in future tournaments. So now we're getting closer to that number 1 spot. We've already come to our podium places, and at number 3 it's going to be yet another IGL, and this IGL is going to be Chappie. So his stats is going to be doing all the talking for him. He's amassed 557 frags over the past 2 ECA seasons, you know, 557. That is, you know, the most frags out of any player so far over the past 2 seasons in ECA Intermediate. Well, I think pretty much by far. I think he's pretty much 50 or 60 frags ahead of anyone. So absolutely insane. And the fact that he's an IGL, it just makes this statistic a bit more staggering, because it's like, this guy's an IGL, and as I mentioned with Lichlord, you know, he's not prioritizing his own performance, rather prioritizing, you know, the team's victory. And with that kept in mind, he's still fragging this hard, which is just an absolute insane statistic, you know. And as I mentioned earlier with, you know, Lichlord and how he would probably slot into that top 5 IGL battle, whatever, Chappie's definitely slotting in there as well. He's probably coming pretty close to number 1, and I just think that he's also not talked about a lot. And when I was looking at his stats, I was just like, why is this guy not talked about more? Because his stats are insane. I watched a few of his demos, and, you know, you can kind of see the style that Sinister 5 are playing with, you know, and how good he's fragging, even though, you know, doing the calling and everything. Absolutely insane stuff, and I'm really excited to see where he can take Sinister 5 with the way he's performing and calling right now for them. So getting into number 2, this is gonna be an interesting one, but also, you know, not as surprising, because it is gonna be the man, the Bravado Star, and he truly has some scary statistics. So over the past 16 matches, he's amassed an average ADR of 97. So I'm just going to let that sink in a bit, and then quickly explain what a 97 ADR essentially means. So over the past 16 matches, you know, average ADR of 97 basically means that he's been getting a kill in every single round that he's played, in every single game that he's played over the past 16 matches against the best teams in South Africa. You know, just leave it there, just let that one sink in a bit, because that is just insane. Like, as I mentioned earlier with Doru, he's already one of 4 players to have a 90 plus ADR. The man is coming in at number 2 with his ADR, which is just an absolutely insane ADR to have, and absolutely insane player. I mean, just his aggressive play style that he has within Bravado, he's kind of infamous for that aggressive play style, you know, loves to get in the face of players and, you know, creeping close to a smoke. He always wants to catch you off guard, wants, you know, players to always, you know, keep their guns out there. They can really never kind of rest and say, okay, you know, the smoke won't be pushed, because the man, well, for the man smokes on walls, you know, he's walking through the smoke, he's asking for a flash, he's really proactive. I think is actually the better word for what his role kind of is within any team that he's played for, and that is why he is fragging as hard as he is, you know, because he's kind of made that role, or well, his play style is kind of who he is, and he's really, you know, taken that play style and made it his own, and he's probably the best player at what he does in South Africa for sure. So now getting into number 1, so might be a bit controversial because this player has only played in season 37, and I kind of know that I mentioned like, oh, but I'm not going to be taking 80k because they aren't playing this season. They played last season though, so you know, I can kind of get it. If you guys want to, you know, criticize me a bit about this pick, I understand it, I'll take it, but still I'm going to be including this player in my number 1 because this guy can't go unnoticed. Like, absolutely, I think he's pretty much on the cusp of everyone's lips right now in terms of his performance that he in terms of his performances that he has been delivering, and it's going to be Datrini, you know, RGL, AWPA, star player, everything for Bravado, and ever since he's returned to competitive play, he's just been a consistent presence within the server, and with 10 matches played, he's amassed 227 kills, you know, mind-boggling statistic, the only player so far in the ECA Intermediate League, to my knowledge, that has above 215 kills at least. So he's leading the frag side of things so far for this season. He's got a 98 ADR, which is obviously also the highest for kind of this season as well. And it's just absolutely insane. Again, you can apply the same logic that you did with the man.
So outspoken, you don't even notice every word you say gets right under my skin.
You know, also
out of focus, but your heart is open. Always trying when I feel like giving
of the round has to be.
Keep breaking hearts to pieces. I know I'm the only reason. I'm afraid you're getting over us. Wasted love.
And he's juggling it masterfully, because I mean, doesn't look like it's impacting his performance at all, because just look at it, man. It's absolutely insane actually. And really, with the way that he's been going on for Bravado, he's really, like, you know, solidified Bravado definitely into that top 3 discussion, without a doubt. Bravado, top 3 team right now, and I mean, I can just see them going even higher with the way that he's performing right now. So that's gonna bring an end to the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you don't agree with my list, you know, feel free to comment down maybe your list. Maybe if you wanna, you know, say like, oh no, but I would have rather used this or use this, you know, drop it down in the comment section. We can debate about this. I'm always keen, you know, to kind of talk to you guys in the comment section, and always do those type of stuff. And if you did enjoy the video, please drop a like. I would really appreciate that. And if you want to see more of this content, please consider clicking that subscribe button, as you know, that boosts up my sub count, but also, you know, you get to see more of this type of content. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching the video yet again. I appreciate all the support that I've been getting, you know, on the streams, with the cast, with everything, and with the YouTube videos that I've been uploading as well. It's absolutely amazing, you know. So thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the morning, afternoon, evening, whichever time you watch it. Yeah, so thank you very much.
I pull up to the red light.